Well, good morning, everybody. I'm tuning in with you for your Friday Freedom Journey devotional. Pastor Kyle here. We want to talk about the beatitude of meekness. We've been going through Jesus' introduction in the Sermon on the Mount, his most famous sermon, and he begins with the Beatitudes, which is attitudes we need to be as followers of Christ. And these are truly transformative principles. I like to call them kingdom principles because in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus begins to show us how his spiritual kingdom functions completely opposite to the ways of the kingdoms of this world. And so in verse 5 of chapter 5, it says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. In the kingdoms of this world, the meek are the ones who get ran over. Those who walk in a meek attitude are considered nice guys who finish last. But Jesus said those who have meekness in the kingdom of heaven, those are the ones who get to be elevated, who are going to be blessed, who are going to inherit the earth. Adam inherited the whole earth, was given responsibility over it, and he lost his place when he sinned. Jesus came to establish God's kingdom on earth, to reverse the curse of Adam and allow his children to take possession of the land once again, to exercise authority over planet earth. But we don't do that through tyranny and strife as the rulers of this world have done. We, as kingdom representatives of Jesus, are to operate in meekness. What is meekness? Meekness is strength under restraint. It's the idea that you have the power, but you only use it for good, not for self-indulgence or self-promotion. And so meekness is this idea of someone who has really a lot of strength and power, like Samson, yet they only use it for the benefit and the glory of God. They're able to have self-control. And those individuals who are able to restrain their strength and funnel it, their gifts, talents, abilities, and all the things that God has given them to utilize and leverage for the kingdom of God, he says, those are the ones that inherit the earth. And so we want to understand this as a kingdom principle of Jesus, in which if we are taking our gifts, talents, and abilities and we're using them to build our own kingdom, we will end up losing everything we build. But if we become those who advance the kingdom of God through our gifts, talents, and abilities, it is the meek who inherit the earth at the end of the day. And Jesus is telling us the pathway to not just victory in the present life, but victory in the life to come. Jesus said, store up your treasures in heaven where moth and rust don't destroy and where thieves can't break in and steal. But so many individuals are stuck in the process of building their own kingdom, taking the gifts, talents, and abilities that the Creator gave them and using them for the pleasure of the created. If our Creator gave us everything we have, then it's only reasonable to use them for our glory. For God's glory. And so I want to encourage you that if we learn the beatitude of meekness, we begin to have spiritual victory. We begin to see God's kingdom flourishing into our life, His power and His presence, but we get to also have the hope of the eternal victory that comes through those who are faithful to Him. So that was today's beatitude. I'm looking forward to tuning in with you next Tuesday as we can continue to go through the introduction to the Sermon on the Mount. Freedom Journey is a ministry that fights the epic of addiction all over the United States. And we are excited to be bringing you these devotionals every morning to encourage your heart. And I hope you'll be praying for us and asking for God to continue to help us use our gifts, talents, and abilities to speak into the lives of those who are suffering from addiction. God bless, and I'll see you next week.